did Sean McDermott deserve to be fired?
Man, I'm so torn over this. I got the news on my way here today, and a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions running through my head. I got to Buffalo in 2009, and we were completely irrelevant. We were mired in dysfunction, couldn't do anything right. I left. I came back in 2015 under Rex Ryan, and it felt like we had a good thing going, right? There was still so much dysfunction from poor free agent signings and bad draft picks, but like we were getting over the hump. Yeah. We had a really good offense. Defense was a mess. I was there for Sean McDermott's first year in 2017, and that's when the program changed for the better forever. He came in. We didn't have a great roster. We didn't have a great quarterback. We kind of had talent, scattered throughout, but he got us right, and he got us over the hump. He got us over the 18-year playoff drought and got us in there. So when I look at Sean, he's the architect of all of this.
How did you get along with Sean?
I got along great with Sean. I really liked Sean. I really respected Sean. I liked his process. I liked his line of thinking. He had a very clear line of communication to the team. He set expectations. I mean, everything about mindset and competing and all that stuff that you've seen over these years comes from Sean McDermott. But this is a results-driven business. And when you have crushing losses where your defense has given up the lead in the fourth quarter year after year after year after year, it's tough. Terry Pagula, ultimately, he writes the checks, he makes the calls, and he decided that it was time for Sean McDermott to go. And why I'm so torn is because now you're looking at Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane. Did Brandon Beane build this team up over the last several seasons to give Josh Allen success? And I would say no. They lack wide receivers. They lack defensive backs. We can get into it more, but that's where I kind of have an issue with this. Sean is the life force behind the program. He was hampered by a bad team. He was handcuffed by a really bad team this year, and that's ultimately what bit them in the
Like an injured team, right?
No, not injured. I think coming out of training camp,
no guys.
You look at the roster, and on offense, you have Josh Allen, of course, Superman. You have Deion Dawkins. You have James Cook. You have a couple other good offensive linemen. But outside, you have no talent. They signed Curtis Samuel and Joshua Palmer to come in and, revive this wide receiver room. But we lost Stephon Diggs a couple years ago, and they had no plan. And they've had opportunities at the trade line year after year to make a move, and they didn't do it. I think 2 years ago, they brought in Amari Cooper. That didn't work out. Rumor was this year that they had Jalen Waddle teed up, but Brandon Beane just didn't want to get rid of a first-round draft pick for him. Could you imagine Jalen Waddle with Josh Allen? Right? They're literally on offense. They're one guy here, one guy there away. And ultimately, what was Sean's undoing? It was the defense. He was calling plays on the defense. They did not address the back end on the corner, safety. They brought in a bunch of guys who were great players 3 or 4 years ago. Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer. And when you blow these fourth quarter leads, you can trace it right back to the secondary. Every year they're giving up big plays, they're missing tackles. So it's tough, man. I'm torn. I've talked to a lot of my boys in the locker room, and they're tore up too. They love Sean. I mean, when I tell you that guys really love Sean, they're tore up. I've talked to players in the locker room, I've talked to coaches, I've talked to everybody, and everybody's upset, and deservedly so.
So I think you're a no. He should not have been fired.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. If I'm the owner and I'm looking at it this year, I'm saying we didn't do enough to support Josh. We didn't do enough to address the defense. We didn't do enough to address all these holes on the roster. Our salary cap is a mess.
Yeah.
And this team has gotten worse year over year over year. I have the stat. Out of 58 draft picks since Josh Allen was drafted in the first round,
right,
only 2 have become Pro Bowlers.
So let me ask you this. Does Sean McDermott has zero to do with the roster? I can't imagine he has nothing to do with the team he's putting together.
I would agree, but ultimately it's Brandon Beane. It's on Brandon Beane to bring him talent in season.
And Brandon Beane is keeping his job. He's not
Brandon
fired.
Beane's getting a promotion.
Got a promotion.
Brandon Beane is
getting a collaborative effort. It's not just the GM fuck what the head coach say I want. It don't work like that. If you a Sean McDermott type of guy, you got your hand all in that fucking pot. This the team that you and Beane put together. Both of y'all put this whack-ass roster together. Y'all did this shit together. Somebody got to fall on the sword. Hey, I feel like, man, if you a good coach, that's why you say y'all got him over the hump, but he got y'all to the hump. Y'all ain't necessarily get over the hump.
Right.
He got y'all to the hump. You know what I'm saying? You can't get to the chip. You can't get past the AFC chip.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go, bro. And if anybody got to go, it's the leader. The GM ain't the leader. He the guy who collabs with the head coach to put the team together. The head coach is the leader, the quarterback the leader. Josh Allen ain't going nowhere. So you got to go. It's simple as that, bro. It ain't rocket science to me, bro. We can't get over the hump with this guy.
So you're 100% in on firing Sean McDermott?
Got to fire him. Got to go, unless you just want to be a good team forever. But nobody in the league is going for goodness. We going for greatness.
100%.
Guys want chips. And if you can't get us the chip, hey, Foxy was a good coach.
Yep.
Foxy was a great coach.
Right.
TJ can say right here and said it. He was a good coach. He had him right here. He couldn't get him over the hump. They fired him, brought in a new little crew, got us over the hump. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro. Somebody got to do it. We're not looking for goodness in this league.
I just look at, like you said, with the roster they just had, regardless of what happened, there's a couple drop passes from being in the AFC Championship.
Right.
That roster versus that team.
Right.
And they fired the head coach. So if you say it's collaborative, why is the GM still there?
Yeah.
Both of y'all got to go. Because Lieb, I'll give you some credit. So I talked about yesterday on the network about everybody keep talking about the offense, but nobody's addressing the defense and that they don't have guys. Lieb said it we had a topic like in week 3 or something, and we was like, it's going to be the same old Bills because defensively they don't have guys.
They've been middle of the
They
pack.
were no-fly zone, but we're not going to act like Von Miller wasn't on one side. And he's a Hall of Famer. DeMarcus Ware, Hall of Famer on the other side. Derek Wolfe was dope.
Yeah.
Malik Jackson got paid. He was in the middle. You got to have guys.
Tackles.
Yeah, you got to have guys all on the defense. Everything, like you said, has come down to Mahomes did it again. Mahomes did it again.
Yeah.
Mahomes did it again. And then Bo just did it.
Right.
They can't get stops on that end. Yes, they had the drops, but if we could get stops on that end, then this team will be a lot better. So if we are going to get the head coach out of here, and this is a collaborative effort, you don't give the GM a promotion. Both y'all got to go.
Is Sean McDermott an offensive or a defensive coach?
Defense.
Well, there we go. Look, you just said
But
it. You're a defensive-minded coach, and we can't get stops on the defensive
So
end.
he can go. And that's
Get your
fine.
ass on. You gotta go.
If he go, you got to go too, because you putting it all together.
I agree.
So if he got to go, you got to get out too. You don't get a promotion. You don't
promotion.
fire the guy that you said is the leader, and you are supposed to be putting this team together. The offense, nothing. The defense didn't get better. Both of y'all got to get out. You don't just get rid of one and give him a promotion. What has he done? What did he do?
Yeah, he got Josh Allen. He got Cook. The O-line and number one rushing team in the league. He put the O-line together. Maybe he collaborated. We don't really know
saying ain't no pieces.
We don't really know to the all the way how it go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he picked the offense and he let McDermott, since you're the defensive-minded guy, you pick the defense. So we don't really know the gist of everything that goes on.
Okay, so we don't. But as a GM, let's say that did happen. I pick the offense, you pick the defense. Who had to make that decision? Him, right? I'm going to let you pick the defense. Bad decision.
Right.
No, he made it. Both of y'all get out.
Yeah.
He's still making bad. Get out.
On the talent side, they trusted all the wrong guys. They brought in old aging vets, gave them big contracts, put them in cap hell, which really kind of hamstringed them this year putting a roster together. But, I mean, it goes both ways. The general manager is supposed to support the team and bring the talent. The coach is supposed to coach the team up, get them focused in the right directions. 5 AFC East championships, going to the playoffs 8 out of 9 years. After coming out of 20 years of dysfunction, it's really tough to kind of evaluate both ways, but I can say this about playing in Buffalo. There is a force that permeates through that entire organization, and it goes back to the 90s. These guys playing in 2026 have to deal with the ghosts from the 90s, from the Buffalo Bills, making it to 4 Super Bowls, losing 4 Super Bowls, right? And then when I was there, all we heard about was the 18-year playoff drought. I was so sick of hearing about it because I wasn't here 2001 through 2010. I wasn't here all those years. This isn't on me, but that is the pressure that is in Buffalo on this team, and especially now that you have Josh Allen. You have your guy, and that's why I think the guys were so emotional after the game. They realized the chapter is shut on this season. They went from believing we're going to go win a championship to now, hey, we got to start all over again, and we got to climb all the way up there. How many opportunities do we really have?
Okay. I hear everything you have said about Sean McDermott, how much you liked him, and how solid he is as a football coach. But I'm with Aqib on this, and I think you're in the same boat. This owner is 74 years of age. He's a billionaire who struck it rich in oil and gas just the way Jerry Jones did. And he finally said, I've seen enough of close. I want to go win a Super Bowl before it's over. And he's never won with any of those Buffalo area teams that he owns except the lacrosse team. And he doesn't want a lacrosse championship. He wants a Super Bowl championship. And this is just me from the outside looking in at Sean McDermott. He is a really good, solid football coach he's like the best vanilla ice cream you have ever eaten. He is classic vanilla, but he's still vanilla. There's no hint of chocolate or strawberry or flair to him. There's no real charisma to him. I don't look at him on the sideline and think, damn, he's got this today. You know, he's going to be the reason. He's the driving force. And that owner is now having to look at a new coach in New England, their division rival, who is a superstar coach, or who has at least become a superstar coach right before your very eyes, because he is now, Mike Vrabel, a media magnet. He is the driving force of the New England Patriots, who are now, we're about to talk about this, they're now strong favorites to get to, they're back in the Super Bowl again, and Terry Pagula has to say, they're doing it to me again. I got to at least try to change my luck. I got to change the scenery. I'm tired of good solid, because he is good solid, but I need to try for a home run. And I don't know what he thinks of Joe Brady, but I'm pretty sure Joe Brady was about to get another job. And I don't know. I'm thinking that he's looking at Joe Brady as a still kid boy wonder sort of coach, and he's thinking, I don't want to lose him. Maybe I should let him run the show. And he said, we need a change in our structure of leadership. And maybe he I don't know, I'm just guessing on this. I'm not, maybe you've heard something this morning, but
you
it
think
seems
he's
like,
going to be the head coach?
well, it just seems like he's just sitting, literally.
It seems like he right there, you just bring him up.
I heard that same quote too. We need to restructure
the leadership,
on this team, right?
Okay.
And so what I could say about them, I think Joe Brady is a very strong option for them in-house. I think the team and
you don't need nothing in-house.
But he brought stability to Josh Allen, right? He simplified a lot of the schemes. He got the run game going. He made things very, very. What he brings is stability. You have Josh Allen operating at a high level, and Gerald, you said this, it always comes down to the defense. It always comes down to a blown coverage. It always comes down to a missed tackle. So I think when they start the head coaching search, they start with Joe Brady. They look at him, see if he can lead this team and lead this offense to the next level. I think another name that's been really popular is Clint Kubiak. That's what I heard this morning from my Bill source. Keep your eyes on Clint Kubiak.
And something to think about is, Lieb said it, you said it, they need fresh, they need new. People forgetting. They about to build a whole new stadium.
Yeah.
They're literally they saying, okay, we got our guy for the future. We got the fan base. We gonna start this thing fresh. We gonna open this new stadium with a new coach and all, that's kind of where they headed. But if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders,
now you're talking.
I called Sean McDermott yesterday. I'm going to get Sean McDermott, and I said, hey, bring Brian Daboll with you. We got the first pick. Brian Daboll's offense is very complex. The quarterback, who everybody's saying going to be the first pick, is Mendoza. You need a smart quarterback. The dude is a business major. You need somebody that can handle all of this information to get it rolling. You might as well get the band back together. Get Sean McDermott into Vegas.
Yes.
Bring Brian Daboll with you. We're going to draft our quarterback. You got Bowers there. You got Genty there. You start building around, and then we get this thing rolling.
Yes.
By the way, Josh did like Brian Daboll when he was in Buffalo. Are you sure Brian Daboll won't be in this mix for head coaching with
He's
the
not
Bills?
a great head coach, but he's a really good play caller.
I don't think he's in the mix for a head coaching job this cycle, just because how bad things ended with the Giants, and they're just completely inept. I think he's a great coordinator. He's a great coordinator. And I was thinking that. I was texting with some Raiders people this morning. I was like, go talk to Sean McDermott now, because the stability we thought we were getting with Pete Carroll obviously wasn't there. And the winning and everything like that, it didn't come along. I will say this, though. I was shocked about that because in my eyes, I would have let Sean have another year just because of the roster. I talked to some Bills people this morning, and that was Terry's thought going into this year, that if they don't make it, Sean's out, we're rolling with Beam, and we're going to get this thing going. So I was shocked by it, but I could definitely see both sides of the argument.
Another guy being linked right now is Davis Webb from Broncos.
I love Davis Webb.
Yeah.
I think Davis Webb, he's in play for the Raiders too.
Yep.
Just a little too young, a little too green, right? I think if you're going to go with a Davis Webb or like this outside the box hire, just stick with Joe Brady. Just get Joe Brady, give him the head man, let him run his offense, and then go get a stud defensive coordinator that could get them reorganized.
Think about this. Josh Allen is still 29 years of age. So you want to talk about an opportunity for somebody. This is, so all of a sudden it's like Josh Allen's on the market, so to speak, as he's,
it's a coach's dream.
Come on.
I would be like, I'm going to Buffalo.
Yeah.
It don't need
Any
to be
coach
nobody
right now.
who's already there. You need a completely
You could change
new voices
you
in the
could
building,
change.
bro.
Yeah. So here's a great stat about Josh Allen. He has now played the most. He now has the most playoff wins, 8, and most starts in the playoffs, 15, of any quarterback without a Super Bowl start in the Super Bowl era. So he's played the most playoff games with no Super Bowl in the history of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's what you're up against. But he's an automatic, 12, 13 wins a year for somebody.
Absolutely.
And then you just got to get him over the hump.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the number one destination in the NFL right now.
It is.
If Harbaugh hadn't inked that deal over the weekend, I think he's got all eyes on Buffalo. But Josh Allen will be 30 next year, and Josh Allen is Superman, and he runs around. But like, how many more opportunities are you going to get? It's just heartbreak year after year.
Yep.
After the 2021 season in the 22 playoffs, that's 13 seconds. Blew the fourth quarter lead to Kansas City. They go to overtime and lose. 2023 playoffs, blown out by Cincinnati at home in the snow up there. Then they blow a lead to Kansas City again, blow a fourth quarter lead to Kansas City again, and then blow a fourth quarter lead to Denver.
Here's the point. On Saturday, if I switch coaches on Saturday, who wins the game? If I give Sean Buffalo's roster, who wins the game? I think Sean does, because he's just way better than McDermott.
Well, they're both Sean.
They don't play. Coaches don't play.
Yeah.
They set a tone, then players play. We got more guys than them. That's all.
I think you had
way
more.
more
We got
talent.
more guys than them. So
That's what I think is tough. Like when you look at the roster, the fact that the Bills even made it this far. When I look at that roster,
That's what I'm saying.
A couple plays.
They were lucky to make it this far.
Which I think always goes down to the coaching, just like we did with the Niners. When you look at the roster, why did they get that far? Because of coaching. When I look at the Buffalo Bills, I'm like, there isn't the big guys, but they made it there because of the coaching or because of Josh Allen.
Not a lot of blue chip guys, but Sean, that's what Sean does. He keeps the team focused on task, has them motivated. They just go out there and they blow it. I mean, you can see it coming. When that fumble happened right before the half, Denver goes down and gets a drive, they score.
But
Buffalo,
that's not McDermott, though.
take a knee. Okay, so
So McDermott should say right on the thing, if I'm the head coach, 16 seconds, boop, they kick it. What we doing right here? Well, we gonna try to go, no, we ain't, take a fucking knee.
Right.
Simple as that, bro.
That was bad. Yeah.
It's leadership.
But that's how the Bills play. The Bills the last couple of years, they've been hot.
That's the point.
And they're not getting over the hump.
That's why he's fired.
Right.
Because that's how they play.
Right.
If that's how my kids is running around, everywhere we go, my kids is just acting crazy and Lou getting out of body, whose fault is that? It's mine. That's my fault.
Okay.
And that okay. AFC is getting better and better.
100%.
Getting better and better.
is getting better and better, and Josh Allen's getting older. And Josh Allen plays, he's Superman.
Okay,
He
but
plays reckless.
here's what killed that owner. They were obviously one play away in overtime, one controversial play away in overtime of getting back to New England, where they recently won a game by finishing on a 35-10 run against that New England team.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, if we just get back there, we're better than they are. We showed them we're better than they are at their place a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No doubt, yeah. They would feel very good going into New England this weekend because they erased a 21-point deficit.
Yeah.
And they came roaring back to
Roaring.
life. And it's a known quantity. It's a division matchup. I mean, I would love to see that matchup go down because I think the Bills have the advantage. But
All right, let's move on, though. So the chat is kind of split 50-50 if that was a good move by the Bills or not. So we're going to find out what happens in Buffalo coming up in the future. But